Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion, where I cover anything in science, technology, business or history. Twitter is erroneously seen primarily as a social network, when it should be seen primarily as an information network. Twitter serves to disseminate information quickly and can often drive news cycles, though from what I can tell, it's widely seen as a cesspit of nonsense. But in my experience, if you follow the right people, the platform can hold a wealth of knowledge from scientists and engineers doing really cool stuff. Regardless, Twitter has now grown to become the public square for politicians, celebrities, and government bodies. It's become essential to a select few aspects of modern functioning. So when the news broke that Tesla CEO Elon Musk had acquired a 9% stake in Twitter to become its largest shareholder, people collectively raised an eyebrow. In this episode, let's see what's going on and what it could all mean.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Tesla's Elon Musk revealed a 9.2% stake in Twitter, worth nearly $3 billion, making him Twitter's largest shareholder. Jack Dorsey, Twitter's co-founder, only has a 2.25% stake. Jack, who stepped down as Twitter's CEO in November, was the previous largest individual owner. Interestingly, the next biggest owners of Twitter after Musk are Vanguard Group, Morgan Stanley, and BlackRock. Elon purchased over 73 million shares on March 14, 2022, but the filing was only revealed on Monday, April 4th. Twitter stock surged nearly 30% on the news, though Twitter so far has remained silent on the event. As everyone here is aware, Elon Musk is a very active user on the platform. With more than 80 million Twitter followers, he regularly posts memes and gets himself into all kinds of trouble. However, what's interesting and has got people talking is what he posted on the 25th of March, 11 days after his then secret Twitter stock purchase. On that day, Musk tweeted, quote, "Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle?" Underneath the poll, he wrote, "The consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully." With over 2 million votes, 70% of people thought no, myself included. Elon then asked in another tweet on the 27th, quote, "Given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done? Is a new platform needed?" In the last episode of my podcast called Through the Web, myself and Torsif discussed this tweet. We thought, as many others did, that Elon was planning to start his own social media platform. We concluded that it would be an uphill battle to get traction and user retention. But not many people, if anyone, saw the next move from Elon Musk. So why did Elon Musk buy Twitter? According to Ed Boyd, a Sky News business reporter, Musk decided to buy the 70 million shares, quote, on a whim. Eric Gordon, a law and business professor at the University of Michigan, states that it could be more strategic than that. He mentions that Twitter could generally just be a regular investment, and Musk sees growth ahead. On the other side of the coin, Gordon states that the purchase could be for non-investment reasons, like it was hinted from his previous tweets in March. Musk may just want to make sure that the platform doesn't restrain free speech, but possibly, moreover, his speech. No chief executive at Twitter would refuse to take a call from the company's top shareholder, so the purchase gives Elon Musk access to Twitter's top management. Eric Gordon goes on to say that the purchase could cause a problem when it comes to the topic of disinformation. We also discussed this topic on the podcast. To me, I like the idea of people being free to say whatever they like, even ideas that I hate, as long as it's not a call to violence or an incitement to cause other people hardship. If it's a bad idea or just plain wrong, the correct information would eventually push it out of the sphere, but I'm well aware that this is just the ideal situation. The other option is just to ban those opinions, but that has unintended consequences. It forces those ideas to go underground and fester unchallenged. To solidify this concept, I mentioned that it was similar to the idea of what Switzerland chose to do with the Russian state media outlet, Russia Today. Obviously, the Swiss government didn't support the ideas expressed, but they had the foresight to see that it was better to expose the wrong ideas and counteract them instead of just banning them. People generally come out with a better understanding when two opposing viewpoints have equal opportunity to fight it out. But then again, in such sensitive situations as a war, there are ideas that could have instant negative consequences. What should be done then? It really is tough. Who decides what is true and what is false? Who has a monopoly on the truth? How do you make sure that politics and corruption doesn't distort the truth? Just as a broad example, if Edward Snowden came out today, he would probably be labelled as spreading misinformation and be banned. In the podcast episode, I just ended up saying that perhaps it's a deeper societal problem. It's a consequence of the general difficulty of figuring out the truth in any given situation, mainly because nobody can agree on what's actually happening anymore. Elon Musk has not spoken specifically about how he would change the rules at Twitter, but I think it's safe to say, if he does do any action at all, it would be on the topic of free speech. An analysis wouldn't be complete without mentioning that Elon Musk has previously been at odds with regulators about his use of Twitter. Last month, Elon Musk asked a US judge to nullify a subpoena from securities regulators, and also to discard a 2018 court agreement in which he had to have pre-approval of his Twitter posts. His lawyer had contended in court motions that the SEC is infringing on the Tesla CEO's First Amendment rights. The controversy started after the Tesla founder infamously tweeted that he had, quote, funding secured to take the company private at $420 a share. In truth, the funding was far from secured, and the electric vehicle company remains public. But Tesla's stock price jumped. Musk later claimed that the post was just a joke referencing weed, but both he and Tesla was fined $20 million each, and he was required to step down as the board chairman and provide pre-approval for his tweets. Some analysts state that getting around this issue may be one of the reasons for the Twitter purchase. So what could happen next? Industry analysts and legal experts say that Musk could begin advocating for changes at Twitter immediately if he chooses. In fact, on April 5th, he would tweet, "Do you want an edit button?" And most people said yes. Though it should be noted, the security document that Musk signed indicates that his investment role would be passive, meaning he does not plan to take control of the company. It remains unclear if he's going to ask or be invited to join Twitter's board. Still, some analysts speculate that he could alter the status of his investment, continuing to buy shares, or even buy the company outright. Analyst for the research company CFRA, Angelo Zeno, writes, quote, Musk's actual investment is a very small percentage of his wealth, and all-in buyout should not be ruled out. According to Bloomberg, such a decision could be very significant. Quote, Twitter is particularly vulnerable to outside pressure because unlike Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Snap, the company's founders don't have special voting control over its future. End quote. Bloomberg goes on to cite how Elliott management indirectly forced Jack Dorsey from the CEO position. As a result, numerous social media users have expressed concern over what Musk's share might mean for the platform. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Elon actually cares about freedom of speech? Or do you see this as a way to tweet whatever he wants about his companies? Feel free to discuss in the comment section below. Or, if you want to discuss in more detail, head on over to the Cold Fusion Discord. I'll also leave a link to my podcast so you can check out our discussions about this. If you want more Cold Fusion and you're interested in the story of how Twitter started, you can watch my episode on that. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a tragic story of scandal and betrayal, the story of a man by the name of Noah Glass who helped build Twitter. Twitter wouldn't exist without him, but his name has since been forgotten by history. Okay, so that's about it from me. I appreciate all your support for Cold Fusion after all of these years. You can follow me on Twitter if you like. Alright, so my name is Dagogo, and I'll catch you again soon for the next episode. Cheers guys. Have a good one.
Cold Fusion. It's new thinking.